What's going on, guys? Hope you all are having a great day out there today. So today is a little bit of shop work and some maintenance things and just some changes and upgrades to a couple cars. First thing we're going to do today is just throw the new tires onto the EXB. I've been running the D-Boost 4S backflip tires on it. They handled nice, they ran pretty good, but just didn't have that mass and the correction I like in the air. So we're going to put the new set of 6S D-Boots on that one. Also, I got to make a little modification to my front bumper on the Outcast. I don't have the other body right next to me to be able to check, but the Notorious body sits very tight up against this bumper. But also, my Outcast body got a lot of busted up here, and I think this bumper has gotten warped from hitting fronts, on the fronts there too many times. It's pushed it in, and apparently this Notorious body does sit a little closer to the bumper. So I'm going to heat this thing up with a heat gun and reform it out where it's supposed to be. I know inevitably it's going to get pushed into there occasionally and probably bust the front of the bumper and the body just like the Outcast was. But at any rate, we're going to do that. And then also with the Kraton 8S, we are going to put on the 23-tooth pinion and we're going to bump the punch setting up to 5. We're going to go through that stuff. I haven't even changed opinions on these yet, so this will be kind of a good little learning experience on tearing that thing apart. So we're going to get working on this stuff, guys, so stay tuned. All right, well, we're going to get started on the easy stuff first and get these wheels removed off the EXB and get the new ones on there. So I'll bring you back once I get these on there. Everybody knows how to change a tire, right? All right, guys, well, we got the D-Boot 6S backflips on the Kraton now. Looks much better. Looks much more proportional. I think I'll definitely love these tires on this truck. Definitely going to make a plan to get down to the BMX track this week. I have to go away for a few days. I got to go out to Tulsa, and I got to go to Colorado for work for a few days. But before I leave, we are going to try and get a trip down to the BMX track and have some fun with the EXB with these tires, and also going to take along the Kraton 8S and see how it likes the BMX track. But we're going to fix the bumper on the Outcast / Notorious now and get that thing fixed up so the body fits properly. All right, so the master plan is to get this thing heated up. I'm letting the heat gun heat up here. Going to try to get this bumper reformed back down where it's supposed to be. Hopefully it does because right now, as you can see, the Notorious body, all the pins are in, but this side's not sitting down because it's hitting on that bumper. So I'm going to heat this thing up and see if we can get her formed back into place. Get it heated up, mold it back, and then let it cool in that spot. And hopefully it should stay there, at least for a while. I got to say, this is a very odd smell between heating up the plastic and burning the grass that's jammed into the front bumper. It smells kind of interesting. But I'm just going to heat this thing up here for a while and get this bumper nice and hot and pliable, and then hold it into a different place and see if she'll stay there. All right, guys, well, I got it heated up. I held it in place. Let her cool down a bit, and now at least it's able to sit straight down and not smash onto the bumper. I know whenever this bumper comes up and takes a hit, it's going to push it into the body. I don't really even know what I could do to try to cure this other than changing out the style bumper on this thing. But we'll see how she holds up, how long the body holds up, but definitely has a nice looking body. The thing looks pretty good. It's just, I love that blue. It's really nice looking. I guess next we are going to move on to the Kraton 8S here and changing this pinion over to the 23-tooth and bumping up the punch setting to 5. And I'll probably give her a quick rip around the parking lot here and see how it feels. All right, guys, well, we got the transmitter turned on here. We got a couple battery packs hooked up to her, so we're going to go fire this thing on and turn the punch up to 5 on this thing, which is the max setting. And then we're going to change out the pinion gear after that. So let's turn this thing on. Goes through its little test setup. Those beepings is recognizing every cell, so it beeps 8 times, recognizing that there is an 8-cell LiPo hooked up to it. So what you want to do is you got to hold down on the set button for 1 second, and now you start seeing it flash green. So now you should be able to hit the set button until you get to your corresponding, whichever you're trying to set. And in this instance, we're trying to change this punch setting, so we're looking for number 7. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and here is where the punch thing is. So once you get it to your whichever one you're trying to change, then you hold down your set button for 3 seconds, and then this should start blinking red down here. maybe. There we go. So now, see, it's blinking one time right now. That's 2, 3, 4, and 5. And that's where we were going to set this thing as. We're going to set it up at 5. So you can just go ahead and shut her down at that point and get her saved. I guess I didn't include it, but you do have to hold the set button down for 3 seconds to save whatever setting you saved. So we should hold it down. And there, it blinks green, lets you know it's saved. So now this thing is set at punch level 5, and we're good to go. So now we're going to go tear the motor out of this thing. I'm going to change this pinion out next. All right, guys, we got everything unplugged from the ESC. Got the 2 screws on the top of the motor mount taken out and loosened. Those ones are completely out. Also, if you're first time doing these, on the bottom here, there is also a set screw that holds your motor plate in mount. So you got to go down here and loosen this one up, slide it all the way forward, and then it'll come out of that hole. One little side note, guys, I don't know if people manage to find a way to finagle this thing out of there, but it is far easier to get this motor in and out if you just take this side skirt off in the battery box. I mean, there's like 8 screws that pop right out, and it just makes getting this thing in and out far easier. I'm not sure if that's normal, because this is the first time I'm doing it, honestly, but I tried to do it without pulling it out, and this thing just would not fit out of there. I mean, this motor is rather large, so just make your life easier on yourself. Pull those few screws out. Comes out way easier. All right, guys, so remove the pinion. There is no grub screw on these. There's a 17 tooth on here, stock. On the very end of the shaft here, there's a little groove, and you have one of your C-clips, E-clips. People call them different things, I guess. But there's one of these on the very end of your shaft there. You just pop that thing off, and slides right off. It's, you know, keyed, so you just slide that back on, and should be good to go. All right, well, we got our slid back in there again. I'm going to go ahead and get the screws back in this thing and get everything hooked back up. I'll bring you guys back when we get some batteries in this thing, and we'll take it for a quick little rip back here. All right, guys, well, we got everything bolted back up again. Got all 3 motor mounts tightened up and cranked down. Got a tiny bit of blue Loctite on each screw, not much, just a little drop. Got our battery box mounted back up. Mesh feels really good. So the only thing left is throw the cover on there and throw the batteries in this thing, and we'll go give the test out here and see what this thing's like. We now got this thing set up on punch level 5 with a 23 tooth pinion. So I think I'm going to like this a lot better, especially for more air control, because that was the only thing this thing was kind of lacking a little bit. All right, guys, well, we got a couple batteries in here. They're not fully charged batteries, but they're about halfway. So we got the 23 tooth pinion in this thing now, and we actually have the punch level set to 5. You know, off camera, when I was first going through the ESC setup, when I turned it on, and the beeps that it gave me, it appears like it never saved it whenever I actually changed it to punch 4. It was still set at the factory punch level 3. So apparently it didn't save it, or I didn't save it correctly, which is probably the better out of the 2 options. But now it is actually saved at punch level 5, and we're going to give this thing a rip and see what she's like. She should be a little bit better, different of an aim. Wow, oh yeah. This thing takes off and gets... Oh yeah. That made a big difference. That thing just screamed. Oh, I think I'm going to like this a lot better. And these aren't even fully charged batteries. They're, like I said, they're like halfway dead. So I think I might enjoy this a lot better. Oh man, she hit that curb pretty hard. But so now we got the 23 tooth pinion in here. We got the punch set to 5. So the next trip we are going to make is definitely down to the BMX track, and we're going to take us for a rip down there. Should be a good time. But yeah, she sits down and takes off pretty good now. You can tell because those front tires are ballooning a little more too. You can tell it's getting a lot more power off the start, because I wasn't really getting that before. So I think I'm going to enjoy this like this. Thanks for all the suggestions out there, guys. On you know, I always really appreciate the comments, you know, in the videos and stuff, and suggestions on what you guys have done to make these things better, tougher, faster. You know, I usually try staying with the stock electronics a lot of my stuff, just because, like I said before, I enjoy seeing what they're like in the stock form, but seeing what you can do with them. But I appreciate everything, guys. And again, if you guys enjoy the videos, please like and subscribe. But until next time, y'all, we'll see you down at the BMX track next. Y'all take care of each other out there. Peace out, everybody.